Sergeant Garman, how long have you been with the Los Santos PD?
Uh, I believe somewhere around 8 months or so, give or take.
8 months. Is the sergeant rank a recent promotion?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And feel free to call me Gabby. TD, how's that light?
Looking good. Everything's a go. I'm already recording, so you guys just do your thing.
All right. So, Sergeant Garman, Weazel News and our viewers is interested in a recent story that was brought to us by one of our citizens, a Rusty Dickshot, who, by his own proclamation, identified himself as a low-level criminal. Are you familiar with this man?
Uh, Indeed I am.
He did admit that he anticipated, because of some of his activities of late, that he was anticipating an arrest from you or one of your fellow officers. And he was willing to go on the record with saying that. So I wanted to make sure that you're aware of that in case of any concerns over discussing, say, open cases, anything along those lines.
Okay. I want to say that I cannot comment directly on any open cases that may or may not involve Mr. Dickshot, but I will do my best to answer any questions that you wish to ask.
I understand. So when I was speaking with Mr. Dickshot, one of the matters that he had brought up, I think he was initially speaking with me in order to perhaps do a ribbing towards the LSPD, but after conversing with him, it led to something a little bit larger. I understand you won't be able to comment specifically on any of the events that I'm going to ask you about, but in terms of leading towards perhaps some larger issues, I'm hoping that you might have an opinion, or if necessary, I'm happy to be referred to the press rep for the LSPD. But Mr. Dickshot had explained that he'd had two incidents where he was interacting with you and your capacity as an officer. The first one was down near the Los Santos docks and involved a police chase. Do you at least recall that event?
I recall an event down in that section of the city. Yes.
For our viewers, the event that was being spoken of at that point by Mr. Dickshot was an alleged car chase where we'll call him a suspect at the time, Mr. Dickshot, was able to evade the police in an Emperor, which is a fairly old vehicle, not particularly known for its speed. The second incident that Mr. Dickshot brought up actually took place closer to Grove. He did admit to causing a confrontation with some of the citizens that live in that area. But once again, you were the officer on site, and he was able to, and I quote, juke and jive his way to get away from you, and he was concerned about your ability to keep up as a trained officer of the LSPD. The question that I have when considering these two incidents is the beat of being able to patrol Grove Street and the docks seems very large for one officer. Do the beats that the LSPD assign their officers to change?
The patrol routes do change based off of the current need, officer count, and of course the number of crimes committed or reported in any one particular area. So obviously, I'm not the only officer patrolling any one area. You know, we have hundreds, if not thousands, of other officers in the city working very hard around the clock.
I understand. So, Sergeant Garman, what's the largest patrol area that you've ever had to handle on your own?
At any one point, it's just been generally a couple of neighborhoods. And like I said, the patrol routes and all that do change based off of specialty knowledge that any particular officer has, any experiences in any areas, obviously relations with the public. If an officer has had confrontations with any individuals in the area, we try our best to make sure that officers in any particular area are respected and liked.
Well, I understand that. When you are on patrol, are you primarily down here in the city, or do you ever have to go north on the island?
So being a member of the LSPD, I primarily patrol in the city. Um, Anywhere else on the island is patrolled primarily by the other precinct or the other departments. However, since we are joined in one task force, there are instances where LSPD does respond to calls somewhere else on the island and vice versa.
And in your opinion, do you think that the LSPD is effectively staffed?
I feel like we're effectively staffed at this point with all of the local police officers that we do have on duty. However, we are always looking to recruit. Applications are always accepted, and they're currently open if anybody wishes to apply. But with that said, I believe that we are pretty adequately staffed with city cops and with their support.
And the equipment that you have, Sergeant Garman, the vehicles that you've been provided, do you think that the citizens of Los Santos tax dollars are going well to providing you with effective equipment and well-maintained equipment?
I think that the departments do their best to provide us with the most effective and up-to-date equipment.
Do you have any opinion on the way that the city is spending its money in its defense?
No, that's a politics thing, and that's something that's way over my pay grade.
Have you ever felt that perhaps you or the citizens you were seeking to protect were in danger because of the equipment that you have?
Not once.
Well, I do appreciate your speaking with me. When you are ever involved in um, as an incident like a foot chase or a car chase, are there factors that you as a police officer are attempting to keep in mind that might make it more difficult for you to be successful?
Of course, obviously the priority of all members of the LSPD and the police task force as a whole is the safety and well-being of all citizens of Los Santos and surrounding counties. So that is of course our primary concern. If at any point it's deemed too dangerous, we do our best to back off and be a little bit more passive during certain chases. We also definitely respect the privacy of our citizens. With that said, we do our best to maintain and continue pursuits, and if we do, for some reason, manage to not apprehend an individual during a pursuit, we do our full power to investigate and apprehend them in the future.
Well, I think that makes me feel like I can sleep well assured that we are being protected by our local police force here in Los Santos. I appreciate your taking the time to speak with me and with the viewers of Weazel News. Thank you again, Sergeant Garman. You're a credit to your badge. I'm Gabby Spillane with Weazel News. We'll send it back to you.